All right, everybody. Hi, welcome to the free Sunday calls. Good to see you. So I'm here in Ireland with my daughter Shay and with Debashri, and we've been playing in the world of magic together and preparing for the goddess of the source code, which is also the Dan Yu code and the water code, and getting everything ready. So that code begins on Monday, the 18th. I return on the 16th, and we're going to jump right into it. Super excited about it. And it also coincides with the spring equinox. So it's an intense and powerful time. And then we're going to move into the solar eclipse, at least for those of you who are living in the United States, on April 8th. So lots of big energies coming in. So, where do I begin? I guess I can give you a tiny bit of overview of what's been happening here, and then I'm going to channel and bring in Raphael, and we'll do an activation, and we'll see what comes in. Mm, But when you're in the magic sometimes and you're playing in these realms, it's hard sometimes to translate it and to share exactly what's happening. We arrived, and the first thing did was go to the Hill of Tara, which is the stone of destiny. And it's a powerful vibration there with a beautiful fairy and wishing tree. And we were guided to place an egg on it, and the sun hit it at the most perfect spot. And that was the very beginning of our journey. And after that, we visited the next day Brigid's Well. There's many Brigid's Wells all over Ireland that are very sacred. And part of the work that we're doing here with the land is attuning to the fact that so much beautiful rituals and deep teachings and understandings through the Celtic and Druid traditions have been lost and covered over by religion. And so part of our process is sort of unraveling that and revealing it on some level and allowing it to resurface. And so that's what Raphael has been sharing, it that that's the main vibration or thing that we're doing that's happening. So we went over to the birthplace of Brigid's Well, and when we arrived, there was a stone there that said Brigid Kelly, who I am named after her, which was pretty fun. And we arrived and we connected with the water and we took some samples of it and felt guided to build a spiral on the land. And as we are doing that, I heard this booming voice that there was a crown for me waiting at the graveyard where the stone was of Brigid's Well. And I went and there it was. And it felt like some type of initiation in a way. It's kind of hard to explain, but something happened. And what happens when we're on these types of journeys is that there's a receiving of energy and frequency and codes. And then when I come back and work with all of you, those codes somehow are imparted upon you and you are receiving the frequency through the transmissions. So that was day one. And then what did we do? Then the next day was my birthday, I think. And we went to the dome, which was really beautiful. And we got up at 3:30 a.m. We drove 4 hours to be there at sunrise. And again, it felt like another strong initiation going through that space. And just so many magical things have been happening. So I'm not going to go into all the stories and details. I'll share that with you when we get to the code, which starts on the 18th. But I wanted to just let you know I'm here and I love you all and I'm doing the work. And as I do it, I will be bringing it back for you. So it's really kind of important to ask yourself if you maybe just take a moment and close your eyes and tune in and ask, do you remember a timeline, a moment, a lifetime, some type of remembering when you were really connected with the land, when you knew how to gather things, things came, magic worked, you built things, you opened portals, you connected with the inner earth beings and the fairies and the galactic beings? Just see if you can kind of remember that. Because what we're going to be doing in the code is bringing back not only that memory and that deep knowing that's somewhere there, it might feel in the far recesses of your being, or it might be right up front, but not only bring it back up to the surface to be aware and conscious of it, but to start living our life in that way, more connected to it, more in attune to it, paying attention and aligning with those frequencies. And in doing so, we are reawakening and bringing alive a lot of those pagan rituals, those deep teachings and memories from different ancient lands, certainly not just Ireland, but all over the world, back up and reclaiming our power. So we're going to be working with the water as well. And we're here in Ireland. We just took a ferry over to the Aran Islands. It was very cold and damp, but the water makes these beautiful sounds and it's very powerful. We visited a landscape that felt galactic in a way. It was really special. So Debashree's a master at photography and art, and so we'll put together things to share so you can see it. And in the meantime, let's just do a short transmission, tune in, see what comes through, and an activation in preparation. I want to remind you that the spring equinox is, I believe, next week. Oh my gosh, on Wednesday at, I think we're going to do an activation at 11 a.m. So make sure you're registered, signed up for that. Okay. Okay. Ready to go? Let's go. Hello. We are very delighted as always to be here and attuned to all of you and your energies at this time as we are attuning to the frequency of this sacred place and land and receiving the codes that are coming into being transmitted for deep remembrance and healing and awakening within you. It is today that we would like you to close your eyes and move into the presence of the here and now and to move down into your body, bringing the energy in and collecting it into the body. And as you are coming into this presence, many ancestors are moving in very rapidly and coming in for all of you. And we are inviting you to attune to their frequency and their vibration. It is that a clearing is of great consequence in this now moment and a deep reverence for healing and a washing away of film or energy that has accumulated on the body and extended out around your energetic fields that is so ingrained in your way of being that it is difficult to take off the blinders and to be able to see through time and space into other realms and dimensions. But what is happening is that many of these different timelines, in a sense, are converging and merging together. And those who are deeply have been holding the space within the inner earth are rising up and merging energetically with you through your body and into your cells and DNA and through the water within you to awaken something so that you can be that conduit of energy between the worlds and the realms. And so for you, as you are here in this now moment and attuning to this frequency, there is a knowing somewhere that you are part of this process of bringing and awakening and revealing and uncovering and allowing these old ways of being to rise to the surface. And today, these energies that have been here working with the spiral are attuning to the frequencies of generational energies that move through the generations. And we would like to go through 3 and then 6 and then 9 as you are reaching that. And in this energy that is coming forward in 3D as Shaylin and Devishri and Kelly are here on this land of Ireland. They're holding these frequencies of the maiden and the mother and the crone. And this is generational and moves through these sequences. And we today would like to support you in bringing in these energies for this clearing. Taking in a nice deep breath and coming into your body. Beginning to count now, and in the counting, inviting you to let go. And in the letting go, there is a deep opening. There are beings that are attuned to galactic frequencies that are dropping in to the crown. And if you are wanting, you can begin to just tap the crown so lightly as there is an opening occurring there and allowing for these seeds to come through. I'm going to count and place you in a landscape in a moment, just resting and dropping into your body, coming into the presence of now. Bring your hand to your heart and the awareness of this sacred space, acting as the entrance way or the portal to access your ancestor. Bring into your awareness and understanding that you are standing upon sacred stone, and in between the cracks lay very sacred water that has flowed for a very long time, that is deep and ancient. And as you are standing upon these stones, this water has encoded energy here and is beginning to rise. And as you open up your heart, just allow yourself to bring your awareness to the night sky and to the frequencies and vibrations of the galactic beings that are opening up a space in and around you. Just breathe for a moment. They're coming in and we need a moment to adjust to their frequency. There is a film that is around you. And just notice that that film started to build itself as the moment you were born. It is a magnetizing energy that started to accumulate around your energetic field, that is heavy and a bit hardening, that is deeply programmed, like programming code. This code came in, and those around you in your human experience were very deeply embedded in this code. In it are certain teachings that are then absorbed into your field as true. As these teachings come in as true, you begin to abide to certain rules and protocols and ways of thinking and being. And the shield over time accumulates around your field. It starts to, at some point, become so strong and heavy, although not consciously felt by you, that you are operating in a system in which sometimes, and more than not, you are unconscious of everything you are saying and doing, and you are obliged to play by the rules of this code. But these galactic vibrations that are here now are here to attune you to new coding. And these new codes and programs are not actually new, but very ancient and old. And they live within the elements. And many energies are coming right now to support their opening as they are being unlocked. And in the unlocking of them, they are starting to rise up. But in order for you to clear the code, you must invite within your heart center an attunement to your ancestors so they may be washed by these ancient sacred waters. So take a moment and just bring an awareness in this now moment that an infinity sign is running, and it is running vertical. Vertical meaning that it has its base like the figure 8 that is beneath your feet, and it is going down into the earth quite a distance as it is spiraling up, and the 0 point is at your heart. The energy then now is coming up and around, and it is moving like this. Start to see if you can move the energy around your body like a conveyor belt of frequency moving through the infinity sign with the 0 point at the heart. As you're doing this, allow it to start to expand so that it moves from being flat to dimensional, like an hourglass. This hourglass is like a time machine that allows you to move through time and be able to attune to different frequencies and timelines that were happening at other times where you are blurring and moving through the code, and it is no longer an obstacle between worlds. As you attune to this energy, just see if you can move the vibration of the infinity through and around your body, expanding and opening it. As you're doing so, it is lifting and connecting above you to a spiral of light that is coming in through the sky or the galactic energies that is hitting at the top of the infinity symbol. And it is creating and piercing a hole. As it pierces this hole, the energies start to spiral down. And as they're spiraling down, you might want to tap the top of your crown and sense and feel water beginning to pour into the crown of your being as if it is flowing down like a very beautiful waterfall, and it is flowing into your crown. And you begin to feel this galactic water coming into your crown and starting to wash things. It is moving into your brain, and in doing so, it is clearing away this old coding, just allowing the water to flow down and through you and into your throat, like a waterfall flowing through your body. And as it comes into the 0 point energy, a pinhole there begins to widen and open as if the flowing, beautiful water is moving inside your heart, a conveyor belt like the torus field of water, and it is gushing and moving rapidly. While this is happening, simultaneously attune to the energy beneath you as a spiral is also moving rapidly and opening and allowing the water to rise from down deep within the inner earth. This water is also galactic in nature and very, very sacred. And as it begins to rise up, you may begin to feel the water coming up your feet and up your legs, rising into your heart center. As these two energies start to merge, they begin to create a conveyor belt of sorts as the energy flows in your torus field begins to widen, and it is flowing with this galactic, ancient, sacred water. While this is happening, simultaneously begin to become aware of an infinity sign that is running in front of your heart, moving out and going through the center and behind as the energy opens within the space of the heart. Again, another infinity spiral is happening. And as this is occurring, it's beginning to feel three-dimensional as you're tuning into a time machine of sorts. As this is occurring now, take a nice deep breath and start to become aware of your mother, your birth mother. Your birth mother is at your left, and attuning to your birth father is at your right. If you are adopted and not attuned to their birth sequence here, just bring in the vibration to the best of your ability, conscious and aware of their energies, one to the left and one to the right. You're going to allow an opening in your heart to occur. You may turn now to your mother and recognize as you're moving toward her frequency any programming that was assisted here with an invitation to invite her to come into your heart. And as she starts to walk toward your heart, there is this sacred flowing waterfall of energy, and she begins to enter into your heart chamber, attuning and feeling your own mother in your heart chamber, and begin to know that these galactic waters are flowing over her. And as this flowing is happening, it is coming up from beneath you and is flowing down from the skies above. She is receiving a healing, a washing away of any old programming within the codes that are no longer active or needed on planet Earth, and anything between you and her that was unspoken in any way in which forgiveness is being asked for. It is flowing through you and healing is taking place. Allow the galactic waters to move into the DNA and to connect that between both of you, and allow them to turn back on the deep knowing and remembering of this ancient connection that you have with your birth mother, for you and her have walked together many lifetimes, and there is no denying this, even if the shield around you and the blockage in the heart is heavy. Just open it further and allow the flowing water to wash over both of you. As the water is flowing, whenever she is ready, she will exit out the back of your heart and start walking on the conveyor belt of the infinity sign. And simultaneously, looking to your right, begin to attune to your father's frequency. Notice him and feel him. inviting him to step into your heart chamber where these sacred ancient galactic waters are flowing, and allow the water to flow over him as if he is being bathed in these sacred codes of light, and any old programming, stories, or energies of forgiveness that need to take place are just being washed away. As this comes to completion, you can actually feel him walking through your heart onto the conveyor belt of energy. And as he does this, you notice behind him is his father, and his father's frequency starts to move toward you and into your heart as well, where it is receiving this beautiful blessing of these sacred waters. And this clearing is occurring. As this is happening, you can notice that it doesn't take long, and he begins to pass through your heart onto the conveyor belt. And as you start to look to the left, you notice your mother's mother as she comes toward you, and that frequency carrying all this coding that is attuned and connected to you in any programming is moving into the waterfall within your own heart chamber as the galactic beings are washing her, and the energies are coming in from underneath and above. Taking a moment to just breathe, you start to notice the frequency of your great grandfather and his energy moving toward and into the heart, where the flowing of water is moving through his whole being as well as he passes through this gateway, moving to your great grandmother on your right. And now you're going to start moving faster. See if you can feel the different energies, generational, that are coming in a line behind both lines of your bloodline, moving in now. And as they are moving through the heart on both sides, there is a clearing as they are receiving these upgrades, and the washing away of this old programming is taking place. And in doing so, there are lines of energy connected within your energetic field that are being cleared as if we are cleaning out something within the corridors of your own being. And as that is happening, just see and feel it coming in stronger and stronger into the body as it is moving into the heart, and the washing is happening until it starts to begin to move a bit faster and a bit faster, and you are not aware of the generational energies that are coming in, and they are going back in time, and they are going back further and further and further and further. And you're going to just keep allowing the energy to keep coming in until you reach the origin of the energy that is clear, holding the original galactic codes of the original seeding of light. And when that happens, they will appear directly in front of you. Breathing in and taking a moment and noticing who is there standing in front of your heart. This is the origin of who you are, the purest aspect of self. They may appear to look different in some way. They are your star brothers and sisters. They knew how to work with the elements and the land. They were connected to the stars. Sense their presence and their deep wisdom. Notice where they are. Notice what rituals they are doing. Notice who is with them. Notice the lightness in their being, how fluid they are. Notice the water moving through them. And see if you can sense them coming closer to you as they reach out and invite you to walk over with them to a clear crystal lake. This lake is a pool of light where all the codes are fully twinkling and alive, a place of bathing and initiation and recognition of who you are. And there is no time to waste in old ways of being, in old programming, in doing what you don't want to do, and in shoulds. Your true, authentic nature is rising and asking you to look into the lake and notice as you bend over and look in who you see. This is you in your most divine state, fully raw and authentic, expressing all that you are. Feel all the energy coming out, all of the creativity, all of the magic and attunement and the light moving through you. See yourself in this way. Allow this great ancient ancestor of yours to walk with you into this water, holding your hand, allowing your feet to be immersed in the water. It is warm and inviting, and you're just stepping into it, and you feel the disintegration of the old programming and the energy around your body starting to dismantle and fall away. And this rawness starts to rise. It is a truth that starts to bubble up, inviting and asking you what brings you joy, what is truly important, where you have placed the limitations and ideas that simply are not true because you are programmed to believe in them, inviting you to walk in deeper and allowing this washing to take place, allowing you to rise even more, sensing something inside that wants to be known or heard or expressed, but is afraid. To see if you can let go of the program, letting them fall away, going deeper into the water, You start to submerge yourself underneath the water. And you thought you could not breathe under the water. But who said that was true? Maybe you can breathe under the water. Maybe you can also fly. Perhaps that seems extraordinary, but yet where do you believe something because it is so, that is part of the matrix that makes it that way? Allow yourself to swim under the water. You can breathe just fine. Begin to notice the water is alive and who and what is in the water. See the shapes that are there and notice who they are. Our faces beginning to appear. Our beings rising up. Are they old friends? How deep are you willing to go under the surface, traveling deep into the ocean's waters? Perhaps you notice that you're swimming like a mermaid, that your friends are coming to say hello. The ancient ones are rising. Perhaps they've been folklore and stories that you've heard before, but you are remembering that all of it is real, for it is only the program that got in the way and you forgot. Notice who is coming in and what they are sharing with you. As you swim deeper and deeper under the surface, you might notice pillars that look like Greek columns in a circle that are starting to come into your awareness and vision. In the center is a very large crystal made of an energy, a stone, a gem you've never seen before. It is just glowing and it is in the shape of a tetrahedron. This is a very sacred portal place where you can come anytime. If you want to move closer to it, you notice that you feel guided to swim around it and you feel as if you have sea legs are like a mermaid in itself. And as you begin to move toward it, you have this feeling to place your hands on it. And it is a station of sorts. And as you start to touch it, you feel a pulsation of energy coming into your hands and through your whole body, like electricity, like a turning on of sorts. And you realize that you're here to turn it. And as you turn it, it unlocks something. Little bubbles of energy start to come out of it. And as they begin to rise, they start to pass through the water. And that is what you're all doing. You're here to unlock these places, these sacred and ancient places all around the globe. You don't realize it, but you're turning them on. And as you open them by placing your hands upon them and remembering the nature of your being, they surface. And as they surface, they wash away the old programming as they land upon the crowns of many around the globe, as if an amnesia has come over all of you and something is shifting, as if you've always been in black and white and you've seen things in a certain way. And as the water falls and the codes rain down upon you, things will start to change and you will see the color, and everything will start to come alive within the elements of nature that you did not see before. Something that seemed so simple to you as you passed it by 100 times on your walk that is so familiar. You begin to notice the different worlds within worlds and the realms within realms as the beings from the other dimensions and the portals open, they begin to show themselves stronger and stronger as your frequency begins to awaken. And with this, you begin to remember them, and you begin to change and shift your way of being, and you know the truth of who you are, and you allow it to be fully expressed with the joy that rises up from within you like these inner waters. And as this happens, everything around you has a different way of being, a different feeling, a sensation, a memory, a knowing, a seeing. And the gifts inside slowly acclimate and turn on, as if keys are being unlocked within your being. And as you circle this beautiful pyramid within the deep depths of the ocean waters, watching the codes lift up and rise, you too can choose to come to the surface. And as you come up to the surface and look around, see all that has always already been there waiting for you, except that you had blinders on to it from the shields of programming around you. But we from the collide to unlock these codes so that the waters may rain upon you and the programming may dissolve, and you may begin to see and feel and dream and know in ways that you have forgotten as it comes back together. And so these times of passageways, the equinox and the solstice, are times of great awakening, moments on which the veil is thin, moments in which you accelerate your frequency, moving through these passageways. And so, my dear ones, I come today to remind you of this, and am delighted in the clearing and the washing away and the loving of those who have walked before you, those who will walk ahead of you, those that are moving on the conveyor belt of your genetic line through the infinity and torus field that moves through you, connected to all that has ever been and ever shall be. Taking in a nice deep breath and breathing in. Just allow this flowing water that is coming in from all directions to be absorbed within your energetic field, preparing you for the work ahead and inviting you to see and to feel in whole new ways, and asking any and all of you to find a place within yourself in which you are holding back because of programming, coding. And what if you let go? Where would you be? Allowing the fear to dissipate, to fall away as the sacred waters wash it from you. Inviting you to take some risks, to unlock what needs to be expressed without hesitation. That the power that resides within you can reign free. Aware of the energies moving now in the infinity signs, vertical and horizontal, and just allow them to continue running in this way. Inviting you to connect with the water before the spring equinox in some way, finding a spring for the spring equinox, blessing and filling the water, and inviting it into your heart center and sowing. Taking in a nice deep breath, just coming back into the presence of the here and now. Okay, and come on back now. And now just move your fingers and toes. Oh. So as we start to prepare for the goddess code, I invite you to spend a lot of time outside with the elements. You know, we've been making spirals and sacred things with the land, whatever you feel called to. Allow that childlike energy to rise in. All right. And it's hard to explain what we're doing, but it's important. I see you there, Joan. Joan takes people to Ireland. She's incredible. It's good to see you. Hi. So I'll keep everybody posted on the journey. Got another 4 or 5 days here. And we'll start the code at right the day after St. Patty's Day. How perfect. We're working with the goddess Danu and other goddess energies to awaken the priestess goddess energy inside all of us, okay? So just tap in, tune in, and play, have some fun. I will keep sending pictures, absolutely. And Demonstrate and I will put something together with all the pictures and the magic and the stories, and we're going to share them, and it's going to be great. And then we got the spring equinox on Wednesday. Good stuff.